Hey friends, welcome back to another Azure Standard haul. This is my haul for the month of August. So I like how our new drop is working. It seems to be the first week of the month, which is great. I mean, perfect for our schedule. So this is my haul for August. This one I went a little bit lighter on what I was getting, and I actually even did a little unexpected shopping while I was there. So with Azure Standard, you place an order online, and these are usually for bulk foods, and they are foods that are generally organic, non-GMO, very clean ingredients, but I place an order usually about once a month or every other month, depending on our budget for the month for groceries. And this month when we went to do the pickup, so the big semi came in and he was there way earlier than expected, which was great. But the big semi comes in and then everybody helps unload the back of the truck. And the first thing he says is, hey, I have a flat of cherries, 16 pounds of cherries per box for 20 bucks. That's a steal. So everybody's eyeing these cherries. And I'm thinking in my mind, what am I going to do with cherries? What am I going to do with cherries? But so before I left, I spent an additional $40. So as always, I will include down in the corner each item, what I purchased, how much it cost, and then some other description. I might add the weight, or if I purchased 3 of something, so that you have the idea of what the cost is. And I'll also include the cost and the description of everything I ordered in the description box below. So let's jump in here and see what we got for the month of August. I did go ahead and order the lids for my jars. So about I believe it was 2 orders back, I got some half-gallon jars, and I liked these because I call them squatty jars. You know, they're shorter jars than the taller ones. And here's the tall ones right here. But these I wanted for storing food, just something I could add to my pantry and or put on my shelf that's in my kitchen. But they didn't come with lids, and I didn't read the description well enough. But Azure had already linked the lids that went with the jars in the description of the jars, and also if you hop over to the lids, they will list the link over to the jars. I don't know how I missed it, but I must have thought that I had lids that would fit this, and I don't. So I went ahead and ordered the lids this time, so now I can use my jars. So thrilled with that. We also picked up just a few odds and ends. I picked up some ground cumin. I'm officially out of cumin, and I use this for a lot of seasoning, a lot of cooking. So gotta have cumin. This is a 1 pound package. Yes, most of these 16 ounces, 1 pound package. This is organic ground cumin. And then I also picked up some ground black pepper. You know, just basic seasonings that I use every single day. Every day I'm picking up my cumin or my pepper. So these will be used to refill our containers. I also picked up some coconut sugar. So this has been out of stock for quite some time, and I finally got a bag of coconut sugar. This is a 5 pound bag, and I will list the price down in the corner below. This is cheaper than if you went and purchased it at Walmart or Kroger's or even Amazon. So I'm very thrilled with this, and this is organic coconut sugar. I picked up some organic sunflower seeds. These are roasted and salted. I throw these in salads. So salads, granola, they're great just to eat by the handful. And I like to have them around, especially for summertime. I think we eat more nuts during the summer than we do fall and winter. I wonder why that is. But so I was out and I was looking at making some more granola, and I was like, wait a sec, I'm missing sunflower seeds. This is also really good in broccoli salad. Or if you're making a like an Asian noodle salad and you don't do peanuts, sunflower seeds. Yum, yum. All right, I also picked up some macadamia nuts. This is a non-GMO raw macadamia nut. unsalted, and these are the pieces. This isn't the whole macadamia nut. I use these to munch on. This is like my guilty pleasure. So mango, dried mango, really dried fruit, and macadamia nuts is like my go-to snack, especially when I'm trying not to eat any kind of dessert or bread or sugars. I want something that has a little bit higher fat content in it and fiber, and that kind of fills me up and stops me from running to that thing that's full of sugar that I really want, like ice cream or even some chips or a brownie or a cookie or a slice of bread. Oh, I'm gonna have to share with you guys my almond flour bread recipe. It's a paleo-friendly bread, not as good as white bread, but it's still bread and it tastes good, especially if you're putting some jam on top of it that isn't loaded with sugar either. So macadamia nuts. I did go ahead and pick up some more salmon. I tried their salmon and I really like it. This is a wild Pacific pink salmon, skinless, boneless, no salt added. It has the lowest mercury limit of any brand. It's the Safe Catch brand. So I went ahead and picked up some of this. They do have other alternatives on there for salmon options. So you can kind of compare the prices of what you want to spend or what you might be looking for. If you don't want Pacific and you prefer Alaskan salmon, you know, you can go that route. So there's 3 to each pack. This is different. So Hannah has a wart on the top of her toe, and we have been trying to get rid of it. We have tried to freeze it off, and she does not want me to freeze it again. She does not like that. We have tried all the over-the-counter stuff that you get from the pharmacy and Walmart and things like that. We've tried the little pads. We've tried the acid liquid and stuff. Nothing's working, and it's a little irritating. And plus, because she's very active, she has moist feet, so of course it's going to make it a little bit difficult to get rid of it. But we started putting some like tea tree oil on it, and then I found this called Wart Wonder on Azure Standard, and I thought, hey, I will go ahead and get it and give it a try. Lots of essential oils in here, some calendula, bloodroot, and apple cider vinegar. It does have the tea tree in it as well as the lemon, and I'm not even going to pronounce this, but it is something that is supposed to work really well on warts, which is a Thuja, some type of cedar leaf. But we're going to give this a try and see if this really works. If it does, you will definitely be hearing back from me, because it is so great when you can find something that is a natural remedy versus something that is over the counter. So we're going to try this and see how it goes. Fingers crossed. We also picked up, these are my half-gallon jars. Did I get the ones with lids? I usually don't. So you can get them with lids or without. I usually will buy mine without lids unless I am running short on lids. I have tons of canning lids in rings, so I usually don't buy my jars with them already on it unless I'm needing to. It can be cheaper if you buy your lids separately in bulk than it is if you spend to purchase them on the jars. So I usually will buy mine in bulk, and you just get a big sleeve of them and you have them. And then you save some money when you buy a jar that doesn't have the ring and the lids. And then you don't end up with the big Ziploc bags or the coat hanger full of rings. I have so many rings for my jars. It's starting to look like decorations in my, my pantry. So we picked up some of those. These I use for storage as well as dry goods and food in the fridge. You can also make tea and use your jars for that, as well as if you get your milk from a local dairy or something, they will usually ask you to bring a container versus them providing you a container. So we use glass jars for that, and we take her like 4 or 6 jars at a time, and we put our names on it, and then she just has jars up there for us. Okay. I think in my last haul, I shared with you the raspberries and blackberries that I purchased. They were frozen because I'm going to make jam. We did not get strawberries this year to do strawberry jam. And the strawberries we did get, we ended up eating. So I went ahead and bought some frozen strawberries. They're organic frozen strawberries. They were on sale to go ahead and make some strawberry jam. So right now we still have peach, but we're going to have blackberry, raspberry, and strawberry, and I think that will take us through winter. And then let's get to the exciting part, the cherries. So I picked up 2 16-pound boxes of cherries. Y'all, these are, I still have so many I have to process, but these are some of the best cherries I have ever had. These are a red cherry. That's all it says on there. And they're not, of course, they're non-GMO. These are organic, but they cannot put the organic label on them yet because they are in their 4th final season of growing them organic before they can get the certification. So they had to sell these as naturally grown. So we went ahead and purchased 2 boxes off the back of the truck. I think $40 for cherries was relatively a great price, because right now if I go and buy these in the store, they're $7 to $9 a bag. And you don't know what you're going to get from the store unless you're in there eating cherries out of the bag. Are these going to taste good or not? These are wonderful, wonderful cherries. They're so juicy. When I bit into it, that it burst. And it was quite messy, but it was so good. So I have already started processing some of these. I am waiting for my cherry pitter to come in the mail. I have been using the straw trick where you push the straw through the cherry, and it is incredibly messy. I had juice all up the wall and over my counters, the floor, all over me. But I did get some of them pitted, and I have already started to dehydrate some in the dehydrator back here. And then we are going to freeze some as well as can some. And then we've eaten 2 bags, so I'm pretty sure we'll probably eat another 2 bags because they are really yummy. But other than that, this was pretty much a light haul this month. I know I spent under $200. I think it was about $174 and then $40 on top of that. But we went a little lighter this month because I didn't really need anything. And I am a firm believer in not purchasing things just because. So I know it is so hard to see something and go, oh my goodness, it's on sale. But if it's not in your grocery budget for the month, just don't do it. Don't overextend yourself and put yourself in a position in which you're struggling to get through the month financially because you overspent on your grocery budget. So we went a little lighter this month. I got a few extra things that I needed that I knew I was going to use for meals. That's another big thing, is that I generally will not purchase unless I know I'm going to use it. The excess money that I put towards my grocery budget goes towards jars and food to preserve. So I will take extra money that I have set aside that I know I'm going to preserve something that we are going to eat later and distribute that money over a few months. So an extra $40 went towards cherries. And next month I'll put maybe an extra $20 or $40 to something else if they put something on sale as far as fruits or maybe nuts, sugar, or flour. I'll go ahead and pick those things up. This coming month looks like it might be a little bit more of a heavier month. We are heading towards fall and winter, so I'm going to start ramping up on stocking some things. So next month I will definitely be picking up extra virgin olive oil and basic pantry things, rice, sugar. I'm good on flour for now. And just extra pantry goods to kind of carry us through the winter because I don't want to be traveling in the snow to go and pick up an order. So guys, that is our Azure Standard haul this month. Of course, if you get an Azure Standard haul, go through the sale flyer. I feel like I find more things in the Azure flyer than I do if I'm just kind of searching online and trying to find like what's on sale or what's new. I feel like I get distracted online. You know, you're scrolling through something and then you stop and you go search for something else. I love to hold something, look through it and see new things and be able to read about them. You know, sometimes they will put ads, little articles in here. There's recipes in here. And I like to be able to see them, read, learn something about it. They have tallow soap for the month of August. They just launched a sale. So, you know, when I see things like that, then I will get online and check them out. So I love the Azure flyer, and this is free. They just throw it in with your box. So guys, thank you so much for joining me for another Azure haul. I will see you here next month in September for our September haul. So as always, guys, I thank you for joining me on my journey, and I bless you on yours.